I want you to ask yourself something. Genuinely ask yourself this. Have you put the absolute maximum effort to reaching your dream lifestyle the last 6 months? Did you really make each day count? Like, did you actually do the things you know you need to do, regardless of whether you wanted to or not? Look, I think deep down, at least to me, we all kind of know the answer. Most of us can probably admit that a Hugh could have gone a little bit harder, a little more disciplined, a bit more focused. We slacked on some sets during workouts. We spent money on useless crap we didn't really need. Maybe you had that extra cheat meal when you knew you shouldn't have. The point is, we tend to have these moments where we feel super disciplined and locked in. But then that momentum slowly fades away, and it feels impossible to get back on track. At least, not to the degree we previously were at. What causes this, and how can we remain truly locked in? Well, psychology teaches us that the best ratio for effort and discipline over a long period of time is one which gives us some flexibility, allowing room for fun and creativity, whilst simultaneously holding us accountable and on track most of the time. Personally, I like to follow the 80-20 rule. This means 80% of the time I am fully locked in. The other 20% though, I can loosen up a bit. I think this has worked pretty good for me so far. But what do I actually mean by locked in? Well, it's those moments where you are so deeply immersed in your current task you're working on that you don't even realize time going by. You're no longer in tune with time. You just enter your flow state. It's kind of like when you play a game you really enjoy, to the point hours have gone by and you don't even realize. You need to get to this state when it comes to your work, studies, and even workouts. Make it fun for yourself. The problem is, with gaming, it's just so easy to enter that flow state since games typically have multiple reward systems like unlocked levels, new items, game currencies, new characters, skins, and so on. You're constantly getting rewarded and given new targets to work towards, keeping you constantly guessing. But how can you stay locked in with the boring stuff? The tiring and long-winded tasks that don't really give you the same kind of consistent dopamine. This is where we gotta leverage science to our advantage. Let's break it down. Step 1. Gamify your wins. Here's the thing. Gaming doesn't make you wait to find out how well you did. You get constant rewards, drops, checkpoints, and stuff. Unfortunately, with our work or studies, we don't really get this kind of constant rewarding. It takes a lot longer, a lot more patience, and discipline. However, you can change this by simply setting micro goals. Use apps that visualize progress in real time. Human psychology teaches us that dopamine signals rise with feedback, not just reward. So yeah, really use that to your advantage. It's a solid and simple way to rewire your brain's response to difficult work. Step 2. You want variable reward schedules. See, games sometimes reward you unexpectedly. This gives you a bigger dopamine hit, as well as a sense of accomplishment and curiosity. And guess what the science shows us? That variable rewards create stronger conditioning. It's a similar sort of mechanism as gambling, reinforcement learning. The randomness of it is actually one of the addictive factors. So yeah, give yourself a random treat for your efforts sometimes. Step 3. Understand your flow state. Okay, this one's always overlooked. Think about it. At some point in your life, you've played a game that was way too hard. How long did you continue playing that game? Similarly, there's probably been times you've played games that were just way too easy. They also get boring fast, right? So which games do we get addicted to? It's the ones that get us into our flow state. That means they have balance. Challenging enough that they keep you guessing, maintain your attention, but they're also rewarding and keep your dopamine levels up just enough to keep you playing. So when it comes to your work, you need to make sure you don't set goals which are either too easy or just straight impossible either. It's all about having balance. Step 4. Dopamine optimization. Okay, so this is a bit of a weird one, but hear me out. So there's this thing where we like unpredictable dopamine triggers. We don't want to only get dopamine from the same stimuli every time. So switch it up. We get a dopamine release from a range of things like exercise, bright light exposure, especially in mornings, and even short bursts of cold. So guess what? In between difficult work tasks, Perhaps switch it up a bit and get exposure to a different dopamine release. I personally use physical exercise, sometimes cold therapy, and even red light therapy as my alternating dopamine sources, and it's worked amazingly well. It's massively reduced my work fatigue and allowed me to stay on task for longer hours without burnout. So yeah, definitely give that a try to stay properly locked in for long periods of time. Step 5. Environmental hacking. For this one, you probably don't even need the science to back it up, but there is studies proving it's factual. Your environment matters. If you're working in a clean, distraction-free, and comfortable environment, it is so much easier to enter that flow state we talked about earlier. This is much harder if the room you're in feels stuffy, too noisy, uncomfortable, and you have distractions like your mobile or game consoles within reach. Turn that phone off, silence it, whatever. Just block out all the potential distractions. I even play calm music or stuff like white noise or maybe binaural beats to block or drown out all the outside noise. For me personally, I really like the binaural beats. 15 to 25 hertz seems to be the sweet spot. Give it a try. Make yourself a minimalist lock-in station. Honestly, all it takes is a loud car passing your house, a bird to land close by your window, or a single notification to pull you out of flow state. And before you know it, you've lost your momentum. So yeah, the more you minimize these, the better. Lastly, step 6, mind control and meditation. Again, this is a bit of a weird, unorthodox one, maybe even controversial, but I think is overlooked and extremely powerful. Have control over your mind. And by that, I mean harbor a sense of calmness. This can be done by two main methods. One is through mindfulness and gratitude. Just something simple like verbally acknowledging 3 huge blessings in your life each morning. Or you can achieve this by increasing in meditation. And meditation doesn't have to be sitting for hours with your hands on your lap. It can be just 5 minutes of focused breath work. A bit of stretching, or some like yoga also works. Just find a time in the day where you solely self-reflect, nothing else. There are tons of controlled studies which show cognitive benefits to meditation, so give it a go, especially in the mornings before tackling the biggest tasks of the day. By thinking only positive thoughts and constantly being grateful, you're psychologically manipulating yourself into feeling like you're at an advantage, which makes it easier to push harder. Highly underrated. And yeah, that's about it. I know some of those are a bit unusual, but the point is to remain locked in and disciplined for optimal efficiency. We are not bothered about trying to look cool. These are methods that actually worked for me. And they're also highly backed by science too, so it's not just placebo crap. Let me know in the comments if you've already implemented any of these, or perhaps I've missed something. Also, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.